And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Ms. Tabitha Bonilla.
A tough spot to be in tonight. I'd much rather be behind the phones talking to the families. Thank you so much for all being here. Can't even begin to express what it means to us. I'm going to share a little bit of a story and then lead on to the rest of the night. One of the last conversations I had with my dad was around our kitchen table, the heart of our home. He had already served 20 years and was eligible for retirement. I pleaded with my dad, "Please don't go." And he replied to me, "Baby, these are my kids too." He said, "You were 21, and many of these guys are younger than you. They are straight out of high school, and no one is going to take care of them the way I do." Having that conversation was so difficult. However, looking back, I'm so thankful my dad shared what was pressing on his heart. I know it was difficult for him to go. I could see it in his eyes. But I know he had to do what he had to do, and he would not have gone otherwise. When I have days that I think that my father's sacrifice alone was too much, I think of these young men that my dad called his kids too, the ones that came home and filled up our living room without him, and how they poured out their memories of the man they called Papa Bear. His selfless, caring example not only made his family proud, but also the boys that served with him. His selfless, caring example inspires all of us. To this day, I still receive emails from the men my father led in combat telling me that they're thinking of my dad and they want to honor his sacrifice. So the burden of my dad's sacrifice feels lighter when I think of the difference he made in those men's lives. His only son, my brother, Lieutenant Keith Albert Bacon, is currently deployed in Afghanistan. My brother remembers that same father who continued to give up his slot to his soldiers to come home on R&R. That's a military term for rest and relaxation. Recently, I found out my brother plans to also give up his slot to his soldier that has a child with disabilities in case he needs to come home. And I couldn't be more proud that my brother follows the example of our father to be the best leader that he can be. Immediately after the deaths of my husband and dad, I was approached by several major news networks. They wanted me to share my story to the world. Didn't feel right. I knew in my heart I had to say no. My experiences were meant to inspire others. That's what my dad's life had taught me. That time, during that climate, it wasn't the way. Years later, Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation called me about a position, and I spoke with Cynthia Kim. about a job that they had. And finally, I knew in my heart it was time to share the story and do what I wanted to do. I said yes without hesitation, and within a couple of weeks I moved. My life and my dad had equipped me for this job, not for me, but for the many children that I serve today through the foundation. Working with these families has finally helped me realize that my pain and sacrifices have had a purpose. I love my job. And maybe my dad's life through me will have an impact too. These kids, although sometimes around my age, are my kids too. When they have difficult days, they know that they can call me, and I will understand. Caring for them has helped me see my life very differently. I see that my dad continues to help and inspire kids through me. This is how I am to live my life, like my dad, for others. Maybe my presence in their lives will make a difference too. I know that you all in this room have made a complete difference in mine. Thank you for what you do for children of Fallen Patriots Foundation. You have stepped in for children who need you the way my dad's boys needed him. And you have made it possible for many of us to fulfill our dreams that our parents have instilled in us and secure their lives for. And for that, I honestly, earnestly, wholeheartedly say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's not one family in this room that is not grateful. Thank you for this opportunity to reflect on my dad and what his life has taught me, that our lives should be lived for the care and the benefit for others. Have a good night.